Senator Sheehy.
Thank you, Chairman. I always find it interesting when constitutional scholars and law of the sea scholars parachute from the rafters during every Trump decision. But we're not a legal body, we're a political body. So if you want a legal body, there's one a block away of white marble. It's a beautiful building. We're a policy body, we're a political body. But just to set the record straight, to your knowledge, Mr. Young, has the president issued any illegal orders, or have illegal orders been followed in the course of the National Guard deployments to our southern border and our cities?
Senator, no, the president has not issued any illegal orders, and the Ninth Circuit has ruled in that favor.
Okay, so we've cleared that up, and there is a case under appeal, which, as Senator Kaine pointed out, is the administration's right to appeal a judgment that called one of the deployments illegal. So right now, no laws have been broken as far as we know. And General Guillot, as the commander of Northern Command, which consists of the entire continent, obviously the continental United States and Alaska included, we've been hearing about threats, we've been hearing about what constitutes an emergency and the president's authority to respond to such an emergency. As a military commander, what do you feel is a greater threat to our national security? 500 volunteers, trained National Guardsmen walking the streets of our cities, or 20 million illegal immigrants who've entered this country over the past 5 years?
Senator, the U.S. Northern Command is situated to, tasked to seal and repel at the border, as you mentioned, with the illegal activity. And I think the results are very strong and speak for themselves there. However, the other group that you mentioned, the 700 guardsmen that are in Title X status, are also doing an excellent job of protecting federal functions and facilities when they're allowed to by the court. Right now, that is just in California, and I think they're doing an exceptional job there in protecting the Roybal Federal Building as well.
And is the influence of transnational criminal organizations that fill our country with fentanyl, poison, various other drugs, illicit activity, human trafficking, is that a national security threat?
Yes, sir, it is. And as I said, I think we are responding to that very well in cooperation with the Department of Homeland Security.
So therefore, under a national security threat, which is unquestionably being fueled by foreign powers that do not want American values to succeed, co-opting transnational criminal organizations, they are actively attacking this country using illegal immigration, using transnational crime, and using drugs to do so. Would that be a correct statement?
It is, yes, sir.
So 70,000 Americans-ish a year are dying from fentanyl-related overdoses, are being trafficked, are being murdered and thrown under bridges by illegal immigrants and the criminal organizations related to those. That sounds like a pretty big emergency. You and I went to war for 20-plus years when 5,000 Americans were killed on and around 9/11. The number's much higher now, as they've unfortunately died from mesothelioma and other sicknesses related to what happened on 9/11, our first responders and more. I think we're almost 7,000 now, as those cancers have taken many lives. So we've settled the legal questions. What we're talking about is politics. What we're talking about is we're being told that 3 to 5 to 700, call the number whatever it is, honorable young Americans who've asked to join the military, raise their right hand, who are volunteering for these deployments, we're being told that them walking the streets, protecting Americans from being mugged, from being carjacked, like our congressmen are 2 blocks away from here. Like one of my staffers was clubbed over the head a few months ago in the ICU, woke up, stripped of all valuables. Apparently, these guardsmen on our street are a greater threat to this nation than the tens of millions of illegal immigrants that were welcomed to this country in the Biden administration. The Biden administration selectively opened our border. It was a choice. They made the choice to do that. It wasn't an accident. It was a decision that they made. And the Venezuelan boat drivers who want to bring poison to this country, they made a choice to get in that boat and drive it here. And we are making the choice, the American people made the choice last year that they're sick of it. They're tired of it, and they want an end to put to this disgusting policy that has led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans. So I think it's an absolute disgrace that we are impugning the integrity of our people in uniform, the integrity of this administration, and the will of the American people to live safely on their own streets. The Constitution says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The American people have a right to expect their government will protect them from being murdered in the street. So I'm sick and tired of the constitutional lawyers parachuting out of the rafters every day when we are doing exactly what the American people asked us to do. If a legal order is given by the Supreme Court that this is wrong, I can promise you the administration will follow it. I hope they do, and I would expect them to. But thus far, a year into this administration, that hasn't happened, and the American people asked to be protected from these threats, and you're doing that. Thank you.